Welcome back. So, with everything running fairly well, I kind of got bored and put the biturbo on the Towny again. And if you saw my last video, we staged kind of a little QT50 MJ50 challenge. Of course, the Towny, while it did better than I expected, still lags behind the QT50 because there's not much that hasn't been done to the QT50 in terms of performance upgrades. I was surprised, didn't get like a top speed reading on the Towny because I was stupid and didn't GPS it, and we're kind of in the unmetered zone of the speedometer, so it's really just a guess. But I would say it was pretty close to 40 miles an hour. And so the only upgrade is really the exhaust at the time. And then, so the goal is to see if we can make this more competitive with the QT50. So I took off the stock carb yesterday and put on this dellorto 15 millimeter carb, which has, I think, an 80 jet in it. And, excuse me, not sure if the jetting would be right. I've yet to run it yet. It's gotten kind of cold here in Columbus, Ohio. But I can deal with the jetting later. And anyhow, it's a 15 millimeter carb. It's a dellorto clone. It's like dirt cheap. It's like, I don't know, $22 shipped. Whoops. And it's an upgrade from the stock 12 millimeter VM12 carb that comes on not only the Towny, but the QT50. Now I was, Treatland is having a 19% off sale now through the end of October 30th. But I was going to buy a VM18 in the intake to put on this, but that's like, even with the discount, $125. And I got this carbon air filter for like maybe $28. And obviously it's not going to be as nice as a VM18, but it's a lot cheaper. It's almost $100 cheaper. So this quickly turned into how cheaply we can upgrade the Towny to try to make it competitive with the upgraded QT50. So this has also got the bigger IRC NR77 rear tire, and then I've got a Schenko 2¼ inch tire on the front. And the tires make a huge difference in the ride. And then let's go back around for the next step. So I got a couple options here. I've been sanding down this stock head cylinder, which was from a QT50, but it's the same thing on a Towny. I've got to check it, spec it out to make sure it's level and flat. And we'll see if we can basically up the compression. Or in the back there, that's a YT60 head I got fairly cheaply off eBay, maybe 30, 35 bucks. And then that's a YT60 used cylinder jug that I got for 35 bucks. So that's 70 bucks there. Now I could have bought one of those dirt cheap 60cc kits that are all over eBay for, I don't know, 45 or 50 bucks. But I think the quality is far below these. And I think these are both usable. The inside of that cylinder looks pretty good. You can't tell, but there's a little bit of rust, surface rust. Or maybe you can tell. I can see it in the camera. That would be my only concern, but I think I can just hone that out. And then this is just dirty, and it might have, yeah, it has a damaged fin right here, but big deal. I mean, just a tiny notch in it. And you can see, you know, one of my big beefs about those eBay top-end kits is this is the OEM stock cylinder head, and the only difference between this and what they sell for the 60cc kits is this is meant to fit a 40 millimeter diameter piston, and then they just, you know, machine it or whatever to fit a 44 millimeter 60cc piston. But overall, the entire size doesn't change, and you can see that the YT60 cylinder head just dwarfs it. So things are going, or should, cool a lot better with more surface area with the YT60 cylinder. I mean, if you're going to sell a bigger kit, you need to sell a bigger cylinder head. And and I've got a piston, a new piston and rings that'll fit that as well. So 70 bucks there, and you know, maybe 90 total for the whole top end, 95. So I guess not, but I already spent this money. Why spend more, right? So those are the upgrades planned for the Towny, to see if we can make it more competitive with the QT50. Stay tuned.